Well, by popular demand, normally we do 2 shows, maybe 3, but because of your cards and letters, emails, Twitter, chirp, tweet, and barf, we are going to a 4th show, I know. Calm down, but this is going to be exciting, so put those seatbelts on and let's go for a ride. Now, I think this one we'll take it to the next step, bring it a little more finished than this. I think it's, see, this here, I threw these in, it's a little premature. I mean, it's a little, maybe not, I don't know. Wasn't ready for the tree trunks yet. But let's refine this a little bit and see what happens, all right? Here we go. I got my paints all ready, and so let's just continue. We'll do some finish. Yeah, this is too much fun, I'll tell you, it really is. Bring that up there. I think this is gonna go about like that, yep. Yeah, so I'm gonna, like I say, I know, calm down now. Well, we're gonna finish this up and bring it to another level. Let's see if we can get a little more excitement into it. Hit some of these light areas. And make sure we hit some of these lights that are coming in. The thing is, this is a little easier to paint because it's a photo, obviously, and the light doesn't change. It's all there and, suspended in time. But when you go out to paint, when you're outdoors, you're at the mercy of that sun moving around. So you have to paint, lay in the shadows first. And once the shadows are at an angle, after you start, leave them. Don't keep changing, because I remember when I first started painting outdoors, I'd paint for like 6 or 7 hours outside and out of my mind, and I would keep changing it. I'd keep changing the light. Painting kept on getting a new life of its own, so it started out, early morning and ended up after lunch sometimes, so the light had shifted. And I made the shift, so when you look at the painting, it was screwy to look at because there were so many different times in one painting. Okay, I'm gonna bring some light into here. This is gonna be all right, that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna overlap that here. Yeah. Bring that over that, break this green up, the white up a little bit with the green. I don't know if I should bring that, yeah. That should come down. I'll bring this up a little bit more. Yeah, bring that up and then bring the dark. I want that to be all about this green area in here, so I'm gonna bring that dark around like that. And then bring this around, let this really pop. It's here. Let's see, all right. This becomes the fun part, when you can kind of slow the process down a little bit, look for some areas where you can refine it a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, there's some light that bounces in there. And then down here somewhere. See what the difference is. Yeah. Okay, there's just a little bit of it there. So I got this, and then this here. which means the window's going to have to come up a little bit more. I don't know. Well, let's see. Bring that over. Yeah. Okay, that's just a wee bit too dark, so I have to lighten up the value on this a little more. Let's get that right there. Oh boy. Look for similarities. If this tone here matches that tone, and you know, color-wise, I just kind of look for that. Yeah, okay. This is a little raw in here, so I'm gonna make that correction, but I'm kind of put it on the back burner and maybe look at it later. Okay, here we go. And if you notice, my paint has gotten a lot heavier than when we started. I keep it fairly open. And let's see. Okay, this is gonna. That's it. Yeah. Don't get too fussy with that. This is nice. This is a beautiful color there. Now what I'm going to do is throw in a light here. Well, the light is really bright, like right here. Okay. The sun is really hitting directly on that. And there's one right here. And then, okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to be a little lighter here. See, on your light areas, I mean, a real super light, even though that's against another color, the light, you know, if that's a gray, a blue-gray, the blue-gray should be the same intensity as the lighter areas here. Just because they change color doesn't mean they change values. The values are all about the same. Okay, now I see some things I just want to change a little bit. That's this here. Let's get some of that rich, intense red in there, right out of the tube. And that should really bang that up nicely. Yeah, see? Like Gauguin said to Van Gogh, you know, you drink too much. No, he didn't say that, but he said words to the effect that if you're going to put a color up, you know, if you're going to go for color, go beyond what you see. You know, don't try to go up to it, but go beyond. Or really push it. You know, it's almost like you said, you got a yellow you want to put up there, put the yellow up and squeeze it right out of the tube if you have to get that intensity. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to bring some of this out a little bit more. This is just a little too dark and too flat looking. So this here is, yeah, son of a gun's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to leave that alone for the time being. This up here looks okay. This maybe, maybe not. Let's put something in there anyway. Look at, I like that blue into that red. It's beautiful. And purple. Just a nice subtle hit, you know. No shadow areas are so important. You know, for showing subtle variations of color. All right. Let's see, just take a quick look. At first glance, I would say that this is just a little too busy and too light. I want to darken this up even more. I like the blue. Maybe I'll salvage some of that blue in there. But I'm going to go in with some indigo. A little blue. And we'll simplify that, especially in this area here. That'll really help that to pop. Yeah, there we go. And in here. Yeah. Now I can bring some of the trees down. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to simplify this whole shape in here. Kind of a quiet area. He was a quiet man. He never bothered anybody. Don't you like that, you know, and they talk about these axe murderers? He was a quiet guy. He loved children.
Stand-up citizen.
What?
A stand-up citizen.
A stand-up citizen. Yeah. Yeah, what a guy. Stand up. That's for sure. Okay. Now this down here is part of the building, even though it's in darkness. So what I want to do is, in order to make that connection, to look as if to appear to be one with the rest of it, what I'll do is I'll take some red right out of the old tube. Hold on a second. Okay. And then I'll go in here with this. There. Now it ties in. It's still dark. It's darker than that, but it makes a connection. Yeah, I think so. Yep. Yeah, I'll bring some of that up there. Woof. Hey, this is hard work. But good work. I love it. Okay. Now I know there are going to be more white branches in there, but I still want to get this working a little bit better. I don't know, man. It's a little too much paint on there. Kind of jumps ahead of everything else. Let's see. Yeah, I think I got more white in there. Contrary to popular opinion, or whatever, the red light. Which one? I wish I was Marty Feldman. Then I could be looking at both cameras. Isn't that song there? What was it? You got Marty Feldman eyes?
Yeah, you got Marty Feldman eyes.
Right. Unlike Betty Davis.
Betty Davis eyes.
That was the song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marty Feldman eyes. Ooh. Wow. He was funny in Young Frankenstein. Oh, we've already talked about this. I'm starting to repeat myself on these shows. You get to close to 400 of these things and You do repeat yourself once in a while. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Bring some of this down here. And then I'll throw in a little bit, a few more windows in there, just to jazz this up a bit. Yeah, okay. And then add a little bit of white to that. Yeah, let's see, this has got to go up here somewhere. Again, it keeps on the same, it's going the opposite way, but it still has, this building here I'm talking about, still has that, you still factor in the perspective. Let's see. Use a little bit of that green. There we go. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. It's coming. Gives us, this area in here gives an opportunity for me to vary this red so that this is actually, what is it? I don't know if this building, yeah, this is one building and then this is a separate building here. So they're two separate buildings. Excellent. All right. There you go. See if I can get that working here. There we go. It's probably a little light for that area, but I did want to show the, yeah, it's more like that. I want to show that roundness there. And then, let's see here. There you go. And there's a real screaming white there that I haven't put in yet, so I better throw that in. I started talking about it and then I rudely interrupted myself with something else, so let's see if I can figure that one out. That's right. Oh, is this here? And then there's that, and then there's, see, right about here, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Yep. Good, good. And then it goes to here. And then up again. And then, whoa, down again. All right. Yeah, I made it a little wider than it should, but hey, get over it. I always end up doing that for some reason. Probably because I can't draw. All right. Yeah, right here. Good. Feather some of those edges. Make your edges all the same, you know, monotonous, hard edge. You want to vary them. Now, that looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. All right. So, yeah. That's probably a little too light, so I'm going to get a little more Viridian in there. Maybe a little, yeah, a little touch of that green is nice. There we go. Got a bit of that going in there. Let's see. The sky actually works pretty good the way it is, so I might just leave it at purple and maybe we'll go in with something later on. But for now, that should do it. Get this up here. There we go. I gotta get a light there. It's like anything, you don't see these things at first, but when you look at the subject long enough, it's when you go outside too, the same thing. You know, you can't find anything to paint, but if you just sit down and do something, start some painting, and then before you know it, a whole Pandora's box opens up of possibilities to paint. You just have to kind of settle down and take the whole thing in. This is horrible here. I hate this. I'll fix that pretty soon. All right. Yeah, this has to come down a bit. It's on the same plane as that, so all right. That's what happens when you look over the whole painting. Everything, you know, you start seeing obvious flaws. I'm gonna bring that one down a little bit. All right, I'll leave that. Wow, we're down to a minute already. Woo! That was fast. That was too fast. Anyway. I think it was worth going to the fourth show. Brought it up a little bit more. And I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. Viewing audience. So anyway, I could probably just stick around and finish it, you know. I don't know, but anyway, it's Bill St. George. Thank you for joining me for Luke Dent and myself for another impression show. And remember to keep painting.